Yellowberry's Game Master 127. Welcome back to a Yu-Gi-Oh! Card discussion today. So recently, my feed told me about this new Noble Knight support card that is coming out. And it's called Flame Noble Knight Roland. And I thought this actually would kind of just be a neat thing. This came out in the structure deck. And so if there's anything that I know with how structure decks are coming, we should be getting this card right around next year. This also comes in the same set that the God Phoenix Gearfried card comes out as well. So, but we'll get into that later, because I actually want to go into the effects of it and see how relevant this card might end up being. So, he is a level 1 Fire Warrior effect monster with 500 attack and then 500 defense. Officially making him the worst Noble Knight card of the bunch. I think that title was previously held by, I believe it was Brothers, because Brothers only has 12, but the 24 defense makes up. But like attack-wise, I'm pretty sure he was the weakest. So, but that's kind of the fact. So, his first effect is with Quick Effect. You can target one face-up monster you control, equip this card from your hand to the target as an equipped spell that makes it gain 500 attack. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh yeah, this wouldn't be that bad with like Driston, and then if you just banish the Total Arms once again. It'd be a really good disruptor play. However, Driston says it has to be a Noble Arms, and guess what Roland is? He is a Noble Knight. So Driston's effect doesn't work. You could probably use it for a whole other things. I see this only really mainly being a kind of swingy card, you know, to kind of just like beef up the monsters. If you really wanted to like make sure it was a like game-winning kind of thing, is when you go to XCs, you could actually, potentially, if you really wanted to do this, if you also had Gwen in the hand, if you picked Caliburn, Gallatin, and then Clarent, so that's, if it was like, say, like the just regular Artorgus King of the Noble Knights. So he's already at 2,000, Gallatin puts him to 2, to 3, and then Clarent puts him to 35. If you give him Gwen from hands, he's now at 38. Give him Roland, that's 43. And that's a 43 direct swing of him. And then if you manage to survive, which obviously would be a terrible idea because there's no Destiny, no Stabber, no protection at all. But you could make it, if you made it through the next turn, that is a 2-turn swing. So it wouldn't be that bad. His second effect is during the end phase, if this card is in the graveyard because it was sent there this turn, you can add one Fire Warrior monster or one equip spell from your deck to your hand, except Flame Knight, Noble Knight Roland. You can only use this effect of Flame Noble Knight Roland once per turn. So he's a hard once per turn, which is a bummer. However, this is where some interesting things happen with that second effect. So during the end phase, which is kind of like making like a table-like effect, basically, you can add one Fire Warrior monster. Essentially, this is where you're going to run the God Phoenix Gearfried, because that allows you to freely search him. If you wanted to use your Assault Search for something else. Because Assault searches, but you can't play it. So this is kind of like, you get, no matter what, if you go through Assault and then if you use him, you're getting 2 searches no matter what. You can also search the one equip spell, which actually is not bad. The problem that you have is, except for like Heritage is the only way you can actually search out Gwen, because Gwen doesn't count as an equip spell, because you're still technically a monster. She functions as an equip spell. The other nice thing, too, I do like about this, is he's level 1. So if you did want to search this guy, for whatever reason, off the Sold, if you had nothing else, you only have to send 1 to get Flame Knight Noble Knight Roland. I'm not going to get that right. So that wouldn't actually be too awful, all things considered. It's, because mainly, how I kind of want to do this, I don't think he would take the place of Noble Knight Avon search or something like that. I would definitely consider searching him like off the Assault, like if I just needed to make sure I could get the God Phoenix Gearfried, because then at least if I go the full combo, no matter what, and I really wish the God Phoenix Gearfried had counted as a Noble Knight, but it doesn't, so because that would have been broken. But God Phoenix Gearfried will essentially be like the bore load of Noble Knights. So it's going to be really powerful. And this is kind of be like a good supplement, because technically it's just one face-up monster. It doesn't have to be a Noble Knight. It doesn't have to even be a warrior. It's just a 500 attack game. So it's gonna be kind of interesting to see how this guy eventually like pans out, and like what's he gonna be like when the Normal Knights comes into it. I can only really see him being honestly like a 1 or 2 of maybe, because I was thinking like at least in like deck ratio, he's definitely not a 3 of. He's not like, man, I really need to see this guy because he's super weak. If you end up with a handful of it, now granted, you could go use each effect. No, okay, never mind. Is because if you ended up with 2 of them, just for instance, is you could technically get away with the effect and put him to 1,000 because you could equip him with himself. But how that would work is he'd be 1,000, not great, but you could. But I do like that it's finally. It's definitely not again the Normal Knight support that they needed, but again I appreciate all support that this archetype is getting, and I like that it's a 1. Because always a big problem I had with, sort of, and it's not too bad, is the reason why you have to run such a large list of arms with the Assault is because all of them are 4. At least 4 or 5. Because then Ektar and like Black Bonds and stuff like that. Those guys are 5. So, I mean, you can make it work. But then now they're finally like introducing like a Normal Knight card that has like, you just said 1. You can send Arfita Tor or like Clarence or like one of like the weaker arms or whatever, or Excalibur for like rank up plays or something like that. That's so freaking good, and I like that. So, I suppose also with the add 1 fire warrior monster right here is this also probably would make ignites if you did ignites with Noble Knights probably a lot better because you can search all the pendulums for it. I don't know. It would have to depend on how playtesting would go. But overall, I really like this, so thank you guys so much for watching, and if you guys want to see more of these card sessions, make sure you let me know down in the comments below. I read all of them, I reply to all of them as fast as I can. And yeah, I just think, this guy might be kind of cool. He's definitely, I'm already thinking, he's going to at least be 1 or 2. Because if anything, at least 1. More Noble Knights, more arms, more swingy power. Anyway, it's still cool. I really like the support cards that are coming out. I hope the structure deck comes out with more Noble Knight support cards. I'm sorry, and the last thing, I know I already ended this, is it's fire, and that kind of like throws like the whole archetype like out of whack or whatever. But, it's alright. Again, all the support I'll take, I'll make it work somehow, somewhere, I'll make it work. So thank you guys. Oh, I suppose you could use it with Belshazzar. Belshazzar wouldn't be too awful. Yeah, it wouldn't be too bad with Belshazzar. Oh, it's okay. I guess I got a lot more thinking than what I gotta do with this. So, until then, alright, I'm done. Thank you guys so much for watching.